We are watching as the entire crypto market begins a violent recovery back to the upside. And one of the projects that I'm watching very close at this moment is, of course, Hedera, because number one, I hold a ton of HBAR. Number two, we've been talking about HBAR for quite some time, but also number three, and last but not least, we have been witnessing some very significant moves from the Hedera team that's allowing HBAR to become a big player in institutional DeFi initiatives and even tokenization initiatives as well. So at this moment, I do think that HBAR is primed for significant moves in this market, and at a time where we are starting to see a recovery across the board. I mean, right now, Bitcoin is hovering around 120.5K, Ethereum almost back to 4,500, and during this time, yes, a lot of altcoins like HBAR are starting to have a big break back to the upside. Now, when we are looking at the price chart for HBAR, the main thing that we are focused on right now is breaking out of this downtrend. Now, again, once we break out of this downtrend, we're not out of the woods just yet. We need to clear the previous highs, which are from July. This is right around like 30.5 cents. And then we need to clear the highs officially going all the way back to January, where we hit a pretty significant high of almost 40 cents exact. After that is cleared, then we really kind of look at the prior highs going all the way back to 2021, where we look at a new all-time high officially being broken on HBAR and us going into price discovery. Now, looking at this thing on the higher time frame structure, more so like on the 1 week, for an example, obviously the lines are going to be a little bit different here. The main thing is that we're still in a downtrend. The key thing that I'm watching here is RSI. I want to see RSI break back above the moving average and start to really kind of have a violent push to the upside to support this next big move. But again, the main thing here is getting a weekly candle close above initially 29 cents roughly. And then we could look at the next level, which would be about roughly almost 34 cents for HBAR. But so far, very good reaction here on the HBAR charts. We have been holding around some key support levels. This is around like roughly 21 cents, right around those highs going back to May as well. So pretty good reaction here. I would love to see some continuation here. So we'll keep a close eye during the week. If anything happens, I'll keep you guys posted. But beyond that, HBAR is listed on almost every single major exchange. And at this point, it's like, all right, well, where can HBAR possibly get listed now? Well, we just got another big listing for HBAR, and this is from coins.ph. This is the #1 fiat and crypto e-wallet in the Philippines. They have over 160 plus tokens listed. And again, they're not like a crazy small, but they're not a crazy big platform. They have over 80,000 plus followers. So again, some more exposure to HBAR. And this is just global exposure because this is in the Philippines. So we love to see that. And again, it's just more markets opening the doors for HBAR. So again, more access, more volume, more value, and more individuals holding HBAR. We love to see it. And then also we got another big update, which was Sauce getting listed on coins.ph as well. This is SauceSwap, the #1 DEX token on Hedera. Ready to dive into Hedera's DeFi ecosystem. Sauce, the reward and governance token for the SauceSwap protocol, list on coins.ph tomorrow, September 24th. Be among the first to buy, sell, and hold one of the most innovative tokens of 2025. Now, beyond that, we also have over here, again, talking about DeFi. Legacy DeFi was built for people with deep pockets, excluding entire continents from participating. Hedera prevents this by getting rid of high gas fees, front-running, and MEV sandwiching. DeFi on Hedera is fair, reliable, and universally accessible to all. And listen, when we think about DeFi itself, DeFi is a huge market. It's a huge, like when we think about crypto itself, right? Most people still think about DeFi. Like one thing that really comes to mind when I mention crypto is banking yourselves, right? Being your own bank. We are only able to do that through DeFi. But DeFi is still one of the largest categories around this space. Let's just go and look at, I don't think Ethereum is even listed under the DeFi tokens, but I do know Chainlink is. If we are looking at the DeFi market, and I've been talking about this almost all year long now, with how Hedera is going to corner this market and become a much bigger piece of the DeFi market. if we're looking at this market, it is currently at $378 billion in market cap. And this has been quickly rising in a big way. If we're just thinking about TVL itself, right, which I do have it open here as well. This is just, HBAR itself. But if we're looking at some of the other key metrics just around, TVL itself, we're currently at about $166 billion. Stablecoin market cap almost at 300 billion. Stablecoins have definitely been a big help in the DeFi TVL side of the space. But just looking at how significant this chart is, we are about to get back to those 2021 all-time highs. I really do think that DeFi is about to wake up in a huge way. And that has me watching Hedera in a big way as well, because again, HBAR is not even listed in the DeFi side of the market either. If we're looking at DeFi, I mean, we have Stellar here, we have a few other projects, but I don't understand how Hedera is not listed here where, all of these other projects actually are listed, even though Hedera is a very big player in the DeFi market. This is one of the biggest problems that I do see with CoinMarketCap, where, if we do start to see a project really make a ton of moves in the DeFi side, they're still not listed here. Most people won't even realize that. So again, Hedera has been absolutely killing it this year around DeFi, but most people are unaware of it because it's just not listed in the DeFi category. But if we're looking at TVL, it's up about 5.5% in the last 24 hours, almost at $120 million. We just did hit a high back in July at about roughly 100 and almost 50 million. I'm waiting for us to get back to the yearly highs, which is around almost 214 million. But I've been watching the stablecoin volume on Hedera really grow as well. We are up 91+% in the last 7 days. This is at $165 million. And we could see where most of this growth is coming from as well. Just kind of looking at this, almost all of it is from USDC. USDC is like the biggest player here with over $164 million tied back to it. But again, looking at this, we are on a steep upward climb when it comes to stablecoin volume. And that's mainly because we are starting to see, we can just look at this real quick on the 7-day, we could see that liquid staking and even the DEX, aka Sausage Swap, is up in a big way, but also Bonzo Finance as well. Bonzo Finance has truly been killing the game for Hedera. They are about to launch vaults as well, which I think is going to be a game changer. This recently did hit a high of about 60 million. So far, we're down to about like 33.5 million. But I think almost every single one of these protocols are going to grow in a huge way, especially once we start to see retail coming back to the space. Believe it or not, I know that everyone has been saying, oh, well, retail's already back. Retail has been here for some time now. I really don't believe that that is the case. I don't think that retail is in crypto right now in a big way. And the reason why I say that is because if they were, we would see altcoins trading significantly higher. We would have already witnessed a big alt season. We have yet to do so. And also, by the way, most metrics are down in a huge way that allow us to calculate if retail is back. Like, for example, Coinbase app rankings on the app list ranking on just mobile phone devices. So again, when it comes to retail, I don't think that retail is here in a huge way. But once they do come back, I do think that DeFi on Hedera is going to be a huge winner. And the reason why I also think so is because of this report that got released on the 27th. Yes, this is the one that goes along with this one. If we're looking at this, we have whether you're a first-time retail user or a multi-billion-dollar institution, Hedera DeFi is for everyone. Predictable fees, near-instant transaction settlement, and no front-running means which means an institutional-grade experience for all users. Decentralized finance was supposed to democratize finance, but often feels unreliable for those without deep pockets or technical know-how. I mean, listen, when we think about DeFi itself, I'm sure that most of you have experienced it. Failed transactions, crazy gas fees, you even get front run sometimes by, MEV bots. I mean, I know that back in 2023, it was a huge problem with the MEV bots. I'm sure that everyone knows about the Jared from Subway MEV bot. Basically, he was sandwiching so many people, and there was probably well over tens of millions of dollars lost just to front running bots. So again, DeFi, for the most part, has been extremely frustrating. It's been extremely inefficient to utilize DeFi, protocols like, for example, DEXs. And with Hedera, they're changing all of that, offering a new type of infrastructure built for reliability, fairness, and universal access. And that's where we start to really kind of get rid of all of the barriers. So for everyone out there that is wanting to tap into DeFi, Hedera is the home of near instant transaction processing, fair prices, and a flat gas fee of around, and we have here a fraction of a penny, regardless of the transaction amount. The result is a new economic and technical architecture for DeFi that makes every strategy viable, regardless of transaction size or time of day, finally delivering on the original promise of frictionless finance for everyone. And listen, DeFi, believe it or not, is starting to become a huge piece of even TradFi. We know institutional players are starting to tap into DeFi for institutional DeFi offerings. And Hedera offers any player, institutional, retail, it does not matter. Hedera is there to help them onboard into DeFi. And this is where I start to really kind of see a big difference between Ethereum, between all of these other DeFi networks and Hedera. It's also why I've always said that Hedera is extremely undervalued compared to, some of these other projects, because again, today, fully diluted value, almost $11.4 billion. I mean, guys, Ethereum itself has over $541+ billion tied to it. And we already know that Ethereum has been extremely inefficient to utilize for DeFi use cases at scale. So when we start to see those problems get, noticed by these big players, they're going to start to shift their focus to other chains. I really do think that Hedera is going to be one of those big chains that we do see a huge shift to, simply because of what Hedera has to offer. But also, we constantly are seeing Hedera get expanded on through major players like even Ledger. For example, here we have Ledger now supports Hedera tokens. This means you can now manage your favorite HTS tokens, such as all of these, and more easily and securely through Ledger Live. And even Hedera said that this is a big shift for DeFi. We have over here, Hedera DeFi just got a whole lot safer. Ledger now supports Hedera token service tokens on both LLM and LLD. So again, we constantly are starting to see more and more expansions happening around the Hedera ecosystem, including, of course, the DeFi side. There are a lot of these integrations and also just support from players like Ledger, which we love to see. And then also, last but not least, we just witnessed another big push from Hashport, which was the Hedera DeFi faucet. So here we have with the HBAR faucet by Hashport Network. It's never been easier to explore the Hedera DeFi ecosystem. Users can claim a small amount of HBAR to cover initial transaction fees, such as DEX swaps, token associations, and beyond. So yeah, basically what is happening here, and Hashport breaks it down perfectly for us. We have introducing the HBAR faucet and HashPass. These new tools make it easier for newcomers to Hedera to get their first HBAR, onboard to Hedera, check your Hedera account health, another momentous occasion for the Hedera ecosystem thanks to Hedera Foundation. And essentially what this is we have here the HBAR faucet. Onboarding new users is tough when the first step is buying tokens. The HBAR faucet can now be found at faucet.hashport.network, giving every eligible new Hedera account 25 cents worth of HBAR on the mainnet. What can users do with this drip of HBAR? They could associate tokens, bridge assets via Hashport, swap tokens on DEXs, mint NFTs, and stake tokens. Getting a drip is as easy as 1, 2, and 3. Start at the website that I just mentioned. Connect your existing EVM wallet from providers such as MetaMask. Our system will automatically verify whether your wallet is eligible to receive an HBAR drip, or you can manually verify at app.passport.xyz. Click continue and then receive drip. On the next screen, sign the transaction prompted by your EVM wallet to open a new Hedera account and receive the drip. And what this is going to do is we're going to start to see the DeFi market really wake up in a big way. And also this does include players like Kabila App, for example, or even Hashpack, because users can also receive an HBAR drip to a brand new unused Hedera account from Hashpack or Kabila App when using a qualifying EVM account. Just click the light blue "Would you like to connect your existing Hedera account" button after your EVM wallet has passed our internal checks. This makes it easier to bridge assets into Hedera with Hashport. Then we have the HashPass, which is secure the ecosystem. This introduces an account verification score on Hedera based on factors such as account age, transaction count and diversity, NFT and token interactions, staking and asset value. In time, the HashPass score could be integrated across a growing number of Hedera ecosystem dapps. New integrations will make the user experience on Hedera continually safer and dapps more trustworthy. thinking about your journey on Hedera, we've got you covered. We've rolled out, this is one of their new landing pages. This is getting started on Hedera. It's a curated launchpad with direct access to wallets, HBAR faucet, and hashpass, native token bridge, DeFi, dev tools, all of that. So again, when it comes to these types of moves being made from ecosystem players like Hashport, this is going to wake up the entire market around Hedera, because now new users can tap in, get a little bit of HBAR for free, and they could utilize it to access DeFi, utilize DeFi, just kind of test the waters. And just like I said previously, it's a night and day difference from Ethereum to Hedera. This is going to allow users to see the difference, feel the difference, and experience it firsthand to ensure that they are going to stick around the Hedera space when it comes to DeFi, because they are going to see how big of a difference it really is. Because again, a lot of these platforms, a lot of these networks, their gas fees are just so ridiculous that it's one of the biggest obstacles to mass DeFi adoption. We cannot have gas fees in the hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars. That's just not something that's going to, lead to mass adoption. So what Hedera is doing here is Hedera is enabling mass adoption into DeFi through initiatives like this. This is incredible to see. And I again, it's just another big +1 for Hedera and for HBAR on why, it is going to be such a big leader in some of these key categories within this market. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, notifications on, because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.